Alright, so this tank is completely sanded down and I just finished vacuuming it out. Got some extra light here today because I wanted to double check that there's no little spots that we missed, and we're going to be cleaning it with Zylol. You might be able to hear it's raining as well, so it's not quite as bright as I would like it in here, which is another reason for this light. But luckily it's all inside work today, so it doesn't really matter if it's raining. And after we clean it up, I think that we are ready for the Potable Water Epoxy Coating. So this we wrote a big article on a while back, and it is the Ecopoxy AquaPura. And this is a really good coating for small water tanks. Will adhere well to fiberglass and epoxy, and yeah, it's going to be what keeps our water safe. So you know, we could fill up the water tank like it is right now, but there's a worry that over the years you know, different chemicals could leach into the water. Specifically, there's a BPA worry. So, you know, is that necessarily fact? No, I don't know. You know, I am not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. I haven't run any experiments. I'm not even sure if there are any results like that, but it's a concern. And so we just want to protect against that, especially with little ones on board. So this Ecopoxy AquaPura is a very good product for this type of scenario. There are a couple others, but they are mainly for larger water tanks. So yeah, what we're going to do right now is clean this up, and then we will mix up that epoxy and use it. It'll be my first time. It's expensive stuff, so I'm not doing any tests or anything. I just want to get it done, honestly. Alright, so this is our Ecopoxy AquaPura, and this is part B, this is part A. It's a 3-to-1 mixture, 3 of this, 1 of this, and that is by weight. So Boris, you will be very happy. You've been telling me for years that I need to be measuring my epoxy with a scale instead of the pumping, and the day has finally come, my friend. So I borrowed Aaron's kitchen scale, and we are going to measure this out by weight and mix it up. And they recommend using a 3/8 inch nap roller. So I stopped by Lowe's on my way in this morning and picked up a couple of those, and we're going to roll this product on. So yeah, let's get started here. I've never done this, as I mentioned before, but we'll just see how it goes. I think the first challenge is going to be getting this thing open. Whew. Wow. That was difficult. Why was that so difficult? Man, this is a serious lid. There's a rubber gasket in here, and Looks like some sort of locking mechanism. That is that was intense. But it's open now. This is not too thick of a white material in here. We'll mix it all up with this. The easiest way to properly dilute this is to just pour the contents of this in here and then mix it up with one of these. Now if we were going to be doing a large tank, that's exactly how we would do it, and Lord knows it would be way easier than what we're about to do. But since I just don't know how much of this we need. I don't think we need that much, and I would love to save it for a future project if we could, because it was so expensive. I just don't want to end up with a bunch of waste. So I'm gonna do it little by little and see how much we actually need. Okay, well, that was a little painful. I had been charging my battery pack all morning, but I guess it wasn't actually charging. I'm not exactly sure what happened there. It said it was fully charged, and then I went to use it and it died very quickly. Hopefully those battery packs are not going bad, but anyhow, I had to do a little bit of switching back and forth. I even tried to hook it up to the impact driver. That was successful for all of like 20 seconds, and yeah, not the best way to do things. But anyhow, it is fully mixed now. It's a good thing that we did mix it, because it was a lot thicker down on the bottom than up at the top. And yeah, so now we're ready to start measuring it out by weight. And we're doing a 3-to-1 again. So yeah, let's get that started. Okay, so we're all ready to measure here. I've turned this scale onto like a liquid weight measurement. I've got this little cup, and we're just gonna scoop and pour and see how this goes. It's not gonna be very clean, that's for sure. I don't want to mess up Aaron's scale. This is kind of messy. Okay, so that is 550, well, it's technically 552. Okay, so we'll need 183 of this. Alright, 179, 180, 181, 182, and 183. There we go. Okay, so now we will move the scale, and we're going to mix these two together, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. You know, I don't know that this is going to be enough to coat the whole tank, but at least it's going to get us started. It's going to give us a good idea of what we're working with, how to do it, good little trial run. I've already learned some things, I already made some mistakes, so you know, we'll just see what happens here. Okay, so I have mixed up our epoxy here, and we're just going to roll it on and see what happens. This is the 3/8 inch nap roller that I was talking about earlier that I picked up from Lowe's. And I think the most difficult part about this is going to be me and my relation to what we're doing here. It's going to be a little awkward leaning over and trying to get into these spaces and see what I'm doing, but we will just do the best we can. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. I think I've got some epoxy in my hair. I don't know if you can see that. But here we have the first layer. It went on pretty easy. It's very sticky. And yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, I'm happy. Alright everybody, so it is nighttime. That's why it's so dark in here. I actually wired up one of our new cabin lights that was given to me, and I've been saving new in the box. I actually direct wired it to a 12-volt battery so we could have some light in here. And yeah, it has been almost exactly 8 hours. In 5 minutes it will be 8 hours. And for the Ecopoxy AquaPura, they recommend a recoat time of a minimum of 6 to 8 hours, depending on temperature. And since it's been pretty cold and wet and rainy today, I waited the full 8 hours. The recoat time is anywhere between that 6 to 8 hours and 24 hours. If you wait longer than 24 hours, you have to sand it down and then clean it up with Xylol or alcohol or something to get rid of that blush, and then of course the sanding to make sure there's a surface for the epoxy to bond to. But if you do it within like that 8 to let's call it 13-hour period, you get a really good molecular bond with the epoxy. So that's why I am back out here at nighttime to go ahead and take care of this so that we do not have to sand up there again. I mean, that would just be a total mess. I don't even know how we would do it, honestly. It would take forever, and I think that we'd end up sanding most of the stuff off and it would just be a mess. So we are going to go ahead and do this within the recoat time. Alright, so first things first, we're going to mix this up again to make sure that it is nice and mixed. We actually have a charged drill this time, so it won't be so much back and forth. So the mix that we did last time ended up being just about perfect. I mean, honestly, I wish we had just like a hair more. But it was perfect. So I think that was 550 if I remember correctly. It's gonna be like 2 minutes ago for you guys, so bear with me. It's been, you know, like a full day for me. I am actually exhausted. $550. There we go. And I'm actually just gonna see how high we can go with what we've got here. So we have just a little bit left over. Alright, that looks like we're getting pretty close to 560. Ah, I got some on the scale. Okay, but we're at 560. 560 divided by 3 equals 186. And 186. Alright, now we are ready to paint. Alright, so you see this is looking really good. This is fully cured, you know, like I can grab onto this, but if you like pay really close attention, you can kind of see where it's still slightly tacky. It's not tacky like it's sticking to my gloves, but it's tacky like in the sense that if I push down on it real hard, you can see where my finger indents it. So that's that means that it's still open. And we're gonna put the second and final coat on here right now. You may be able to see I have a heater up here, and that is because it dipped a little bit below 60 degrees in here, and the minimum temperature that you want to work with this stuff is 60 degrees. So I'm just making sure that you know, everything in here is at least 60 degrees so that we have good curing. Okay, so we are done, and it looks awesome. That was the perfect amount. So just a note for people who may be using this product in the future, the recoat does not take any less. I know sometimes when you recoat something you need a little bit less than the first time. Not the case here, you need just as much. I'm really happy with this product so far. I mean, this looks freaking phenomenal. You know, it's easy to work with and it's safe. There's no like crazy smells or anything right now. Like it's, you know, I'm breathing fine. Yeah, this has been really great. So now I'm going to clean up, go home, and go to bed.